After a big crash in stocks, some frac sand miners are desperate. For the past 6 years, Kevin Bowen has made good money selling sand to shale frackers who use it for drilling. It was hard not to, but today the US frac sand industry is swimming in an excess of supply that has battered prices and cut the stocks of frac sand miners by more than 70% in the last 2 years. So Bowen's shale, I thought, certainly there's got to be sand closer that's good enough quality, he said. I think the answer, the source of the oversupply is easy to trace. In the last couple of, that's depressed the industry even as shale production continues to shatter records. Some sand if we didn't have the West Texas mines, the US would be undersupplied with sand, said Scott Forbes, who watches the sand market for industry consultant Wood Mackenzie. The search for new markets like Argentina marks another strange twist for the sand industry. When fracking took off, related video in Texas, America's oil faucet gets an upgrade provided by AFP. But in 2014, the price of oil plunged. Drillers rushed but the frenzied sand expansion has brought the inevitable bust. The price of West US Silica, the current king of frac sand in terms of market size, estimated in February that as much as 20% of the 50 million tons of northern sand needs to get shut down. Its stock is down. Some of that capacity is just kind of companies and mines that are sort of hanging on by their fingernails at this point, US Silica chief executive Brian Shin told analysts on a conference call at the time. Meanwhile, as sand prices and competition grew, Kevin Bowen looked for a new market. He found it in art. He expects to get paid about $240 a ton for his sand, far more than the $50 a ton that US oil companies are paying in the Permian Basin. It even exceeds that. Bowen said he has no intention of abandoning the US shale business, which remains the biggest user of any kind of sand. But he needed a way to. The American market is going to be cyclical up and down, Bowen said. Argentina
Raindrop, drop top, smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park pot.